Hello and welcome back to Tottenham Logic TV. So, who's to blame for this inconsistency at Tottenham Hotspur? Tottenham probably had one of the most up and down seasons in probably recent memory. We played some beautiful football one week and then terrible a week later. But what's causing these inconsistencies? This is what I want to talk about today. Before you all jump on the comments and start saying Levy is the problem, Levy out. First of all, I agree. I feel he's created a losing culture within his club and does not care about the fans. That is very, very clear, especially after what he's just done to the pensioners as well. But today I'm just talking about the performance on the pitch, which is not affected by Levy, in my opinion. And by the way that I'm going to explain it. So just bear with me. Ange's job is to give the players his tactics and requirements to go onto the pitch and implement them in the game. I think we can all agree on that. The players play these tactics every single week with maybe some small tweaks depending on the opposition. They use these tactics against Man United, Aston Villa, Everton, Brentford and West Ham and won convincingly, scoring 3+ goals in every single game. The tactics didn't seem to be the problem in those games. Neither did the players. They used these same tactics against Palace, Ipswich, Galatasaray and Coventry and lost. But not only did they lose, they played awfully and deserved to lose. The performance levels were almost chalk and cheese, but with the same tactics. So why are we inconsistent then? The tactics have been the same in every match, but the implementation of the tactics has been different. So this could be put down to the players. The bare minimum requirements for Ange is effort, desire, and outfight the opposition. If this is executed right, then the quality takes care of itself. Unfortunately, these requirements are not met by the players some weeks, maybe due to complacency or tiredness or being overplayed. So as much as it's easy to blame Ange for everything, it's not all down to him. Some of it is. At the end of the day, it's his job to motivate the players for every game. It's his job to change things up when he knows things are not going right. It's his job to adapt to different teams. One thing I want to point out, though, is he also said he chose these players that he signed because of their mentality. None of these players are showing that mentality on the games that we are losing or that we have lost. And that's a bit of a worry for me if you're bringing in players solely because of their mentality, and that's something that they're lacking. Another thing I want to point out is the massive amount of injuries we're already getting this season. I'll hear you asked, but how does that cause inconsistency? Of course it does. But this is where squad depth is so important for Ange. Have you noticed when we are at full strength, he makes subs earlier, he's got more influence on the game, he adapts better, and he can keep the intensity in the matches better. But once a few players are missing, this all drops off, causing a ripple effect through the team. We had to offload over 16 players in the summer, and I still think there's some players that can't play Ange at the moment or play this system. And I think that really hinders consistency as well. Ben Davies is a good defender, but he struggles in the system. Richarlison can never stay fit. Biss is very inconsistent on the ball, in my opinion. Some weeks he's brilliant on the ball. Some weeks he gives it away unnecessarily. Johnson is great at getting on the end of things, but other than that, he doesn't really offer much. He's not very good at crossing. He's not very good at taking on his man. He's basically just the work rate with him. Our back five are good, but they have no cover when they're missing. So our squad depth at the back is very, very poor. And again, that could go down to Ange not signing any defenders. But is that a Levy thing? Dragushin hasn't got used to the pace of the Premier League yet. That's clear to see. At the moment, Ben Davies looks better than him. We have no cover for Udogie other than Spence, but Spence is not a left back, so Udogie normally plays nearly every single game and he ends up getting overplayed. Spence looks decent every time he comes in, but he never seems to get a chance for some reason. And again, is that an Ange thing? The young guys we've brought in have all got huge talent, but it doesn't look like they're at the level yet to adjust to this Premier League pace. I'm sure they will, but it's taken longer than probably Ange thought it would. So squad depth is another issue. Obviously, injuries happen to all teams. And look what's happening to all the other teams. Arsenal, City, Villa, and Chelsea have also been very, very inconsistent this season. And so it's not just us. None of those teams I've just mentioned play Ange ball, and they are only 2 to 3 points ahead of us. So in conclusion, Ange needs to find a way to motivate his players to be hungry for every match. That is clear as day. The players need to take some responsibility as well. You shouldn't need motivation to play in front of your home crowd, over 60,000 people, for a top club. You should not need motivation for that. So the players need to take some responsibility too and stop putting in some complacency performances. We also need to strengthen the squad more, in my opinion, to give us more options when we have injuries and for game management for Ange. And January is going to be a very important window this season, in my opinion. Like they all are, like we say, every transfer window, to be honest. Unfortunately, this is a results-driven game. And if Ange can't find a solution fast, he may end up on the chopping block. We have a very tough run of fixtures, so this is a crucial time for us. If Ange can't get results and the players are still very inconsistent with his tactics, it's going to be very, very difficult and very, very difficult to predict. I cannot predict what's going to happen in the next 8 games, but they are the most important 8 games of Ange's career so far. Let me know in the comments what you think the problems are, how you think these problems can be solved. Do you think it's Ange? Do you think it's the players? Or is this all solely on Levy? Levy not helping the manager again? Let me know in the comments, and come on, you Spurs.